Hi, my name is Bashi. I'm a speech language pathologist at Saunders Speech and Voice. I'm going to walk you through some helpful warm-ups, just general vocal warm-ups and great ways to tap into elements of lightened vocal weight and forward resonance for feminized voice. If you've played with feminized voice or just vocal training before, you're probably familiar with softies, semi-occluded vocal tract exercises. I love cup bubbles or bubble breaths. But you don't really have a straw in a cup all the time. So we'll go over these. We'll talk about some alternative versions if you don't have this set up readily available, and then some more dynamic warm-ups to help your voice warm up quickly and effectively to be able to access that really nice light vocal weight, that forward resonance, and a pitch range that feels comfortable and authentic to you. So first things first, thinking about the cup bubbles. So you typically want about an inch of water at the bottom. Any less, you're not really going to get that pressure balance above and below the vocal cords. Any more, and you're just going to be working hard to push through the air. It's more of a respiratory exercise. We're trying to create the zero gravity chamber of air pressure above and below the vocal cords so they can vibrate really easily. That allows you to access parts of your range that might be hard to access otherwise, and kind of acts as a really nice yogic stretch for the vocal cords. So you start, if you've ever played kazoo, this is your moment to shine. You start just with airflow. Making the bubbles happen. And then you're going to add sound to it, kind of like humming. So airflow continues and you add a tone or a hum to the top of it. And that feels easy. You're going to glide from the bottom of your range to the top of your range. With any of these exercises, you're wanting to keep physical effort low, letting the air do most of the work there. In order to capitalize on your air supply, you want to take a full breath for each run. So one breath to go from the bottom to the top of your range, then pause, take another full breath, and come back from the top to your bottom of your range. Other things to think about here, anywhere that we can acknowledge and reduce tension is really essential. So thinking about, oh, am I like clenching down on this jaw? Are my cheeks kind of tense? Is my forehead tense? Or am I being able to keep that kind of relaxation throughout the range? If you don't have a cup and a straw, you have this amazing built-in bendy straw that is your sinuses. So you can occlude or close one of your nostrils and hum. Nice little hack if you don't have the straw available. Now thinking about more dynamic warm-ups, we're wanting to be able to access a lightened vocal weight while moving through our target range. So I like to use siren sounds that start with a hum. When we think about humming, we can get kind of that forward focus of the sound. I also like to add this idea of like a puppy sigh. That has a little bit more air underneath it. So to me, this feels acoustically like the difference between the Pillsbury Doughboy and a puppy sigh. There's a big difference in that vocal weight there because I'm just allowing my throat to relax and a lot more air to move through. So when you can find that nice, easy kind of extended puppy sigh, that's where we're going to start and build from. We're going to then move to a siren. So taking a deep breath. We want to keep the physical effort low, the air flow high, and the breath support really nice and strong using the diaphragm. After we've done that hum, we can start opening up into different sounds. So we'll start with a hum siren. Then we'll move and gradually open the mouth a little bit more. So we're going to start with an O sound, or an oo rather. And for this, think about, instead of the lips rounding and protruding, ooh, think about kind of keeping them a little bit more retracted, thinking about that brightened resonance piece. Still letting the breath do all the work there. Physically not working very hard, and it sounds and feels a lot different than if I were to be kind of in my chest voice with my vocal cords making a lot more pressure and contact. Ooh, versus ooh. One sounds a lot lighter in vocal weight, and it also feels a lot easier on my system to do. Once we have the ooh and that's feeling nice and stable and easy, we'll move to an E. E. Trying to keep the tongue really nice and relaxed, high and forward in that mouth, in the mouth for that bright resonance. E. And then from there you can move to an ah. Again, thinking about modifying that vowel. Ah. Keeping the jaw a little bit more neutral as compared to ah. Same pitch, way more open resonance, way darker of a sound. So these type of dynamic glides help us to access that lightened vocal weight, think about lip and jaw positioning for our resonance, think about tongue positioning, and move through a dynamic range of the pitch that will kind of mimic that range that we're occupying in everyday speech.